This is silver on the weekly scale. Another week passed, and another week seeing silver here under the black line, the major support level coming up from years ago, and under the resistance level and the mighty overhead resistance, the horizontal one that we have here. Okay, so all in all, this is not necessarily an inviolable situation for the bulls, but on the other hand, it doesn't necessarily guarantees that we are going to see a crash through the floor here. However, we have to be on alert here. This is, in my opinion, if it is destined to crash through the floor here, is not going to hang around here for too long. Yes, it is going to start making its way towards the floor. I would suggest the short term here. That's the week I'm going to jump to the daily. I would suggest that you take 15.6 as really important level. Okay, my thinking is very simple. If it does manage to rise above 15.6 and it manages to sit around here for a few days, that's a sign of strength, definitely, and it will at that point raise the prospects that it could challenge the previous high at just above. It's a 16.226. Okay, the longer it stays around here, the more likely it is that the selling pressure is overwhelming and silver is preparing to go lower. How far it's going to go, I don't know. I think that as far as I'm concerned, the bullish case will die if it crashes under 14.6. Okay, at that point I would think that the prospects of it reaching eventually the floor registered here would rise significantly, and we would have to review the wave count. Some of you might think that we have actually a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 registered here. It's not inconceivable. I prefer at this point, and by the way, and that will be bearish, yes? That will be bearish if we do have a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, because if this is a 5-wave run hitting the floor around here, now you're going to have correction. It's going down. If this is an ABC and you think that this is an ABC correcting the move up here, sorry, that's going to be too big as an ABC, and it risks actually going through the floor here. So I don't think that this is going to serve the purpose that the bulls have in mind, that it's going to find support here and run further up. I'm working at this point in time with this option that's an ABC that registered an ABC which gave me an X, and that's an ABC terminated. So I have an ABC X ABC, and for all intents and purposes, in terms of time and in terms of the depth of the correction, it could be ready to continue higher. But you have to remember we have a context in which the precious metals moving. The context is something that changes all the time. Yes. What I have in mind is the major currencies that are serving as the background to the movements in the precious metals. They either go contra to the direction the precious metals are taking, for example, the dollar index, or they go with. Yeah, they have positive correlation with the precious metals, and then comes to mind the various currencies I follow often: the euro, the pound, the Australian dollar, the New Zealand dollar. Yeah, you have a whole bunch, and they are currently under pressure. They are all under pressure, and some of them are close to breaking critical levels. And once we have critical levels broken in those currencies, that will raise the prospects that the precious metals could go through a hard time here. So I really urge you to look at the various currencies that I mentioned and see how they behave day by day. And you will see that sometimes you're going to get insights, early signals, if you like, of an impending move, either up or down in the precious metals. So that's the 60 minutes. That's the ABC, ABC, X, ABC. Now, if it's done, we're going to see gradual recovery and a jump above 15.6. and that will work. You know, it's just going to create that sprint front 5 legs coming up here, anything like that, and it jumps and you are long. If you are not long already, you will be long right here. You'll have no excuse, as it were. The market will have done everything it could to shore up the situation here for the bulls, and flying through the previous high here, having registered the correction complete here. Yeah, that'll be ideal spot to get in. Now, suppose the bull is now on holiday and we are going to have it going sideways and basically confined to this zone. Or let's put it this way, it's not going to make it above 15.6, it's just going to bounce up and down here. Watch out, be careful. If you are long or intend to go long, I would wait a bit. Breaking through that, you should definitely stay on the sidelines with any idea of going long. Let it come to you, because breaking through this, as I said, will increase the odds that he wants to go lower. Now, here's gold. I have to say that the price action right from the top here on the weekly and the daily is not supporting, if you like, a complete crash through the floor here at 1160. The reason why I say that is because it looks like what we are doing here is a bunch of ABCs. It's corrective what we are doing here, and this is something that could fit, in fact, in the pattern that would eventually see gold going higher. And eventually doesn't mean 3 years from now, might mean 3 months from now, might mean 6 months from now, but doesn't mean like we're going to have to wait years and years. And what I have in mind is this, that that's our A, and that's an A, B, C, D, and what it's doing now is corrective, and it could be indeed doing just the E leg, yeah, providing us with that E leg that I mentioned on many occasions, and that could be composed of many ABCX, etc. And when that is done, that's what I'm talking about. Okay, we're going to see that big jump here, perfectly possible in the circumstances. Let's have a look at the daily, and if you look carefully here, what do you see? You see basically a 3-leg move. That's an ABC, and that's corrective. And that's a drop that might have a further life on the downside, but the initial slide has not traced. Sorry, the initial slide here has not traced, as far as I can see, 5-wave run. No, we got almost certainly here an ABC, and that's bullish in the wider context. Okay. And I hope you understand why. Okay, we have an ABC, we have an ABCD that should be taken as an X in my opinion. We came down, we registered a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, that could be our A. It's going now to trace a B, and do not be surprised if gold is going to give way. Yes, it's going to crash through the support of 1280. When the B is down, it's going to give us that C. And all of this is part of that big E leg. So what you should take from this analysis concerning gold right now is that I do not think that gold is ready for this. No, I do not think that gold is ready for this. Definitely not. There is a bullish reading that might suggest eventual run above this without going through the very lengthy E leg. Yes, that I mentioned, that is almost certainly going to last another good 3 to 6 months. Yes, that alternative I've suggested before, that could perhaps be a 1, 2, that's a 3, that's a 4, 3. But even in this case, which is not my favorite reading, even in this case, the sideways price action here does not look like it delivered a complete pattern. And that is the main reason why I think that it's not ready to run straight up now. So at most, I would suggest it's going to drift slightly higher. It's probably not going to make it much above 1320. I would be surprised. Let's go to the 60 minutes. And you can see the alternatives here. So we have seen clearly corrective phase here, and then 1 2 1 2 3 4 3 4 A B C D E slump, fifth leg. So 1 2 3 4 5 complete. That looks to me like it's heading in the direction of creating another corrective move here, and I would think that would fit perfectly as a B. Now if we do go into a triangle right now, you see, if we end up seeing something like that and it breaks through the floor here, then you can assume it's going to go down 1284. However, it is quite possible that that's going to morph into an A. You're going to have a triangle here, and it's not going to prepare to break down here, but in fact is going to run above the top here on my 15-minute scale. But that would nevertheless be an A. That's a B, that's a C, and then it'll come down. Yeah, I think it'll come down. Okay, so you have a zone to keep an eye on right here, the top that was registered, and the bottom. And I think that it's going to spend a bit of time here. If it runs early in the week, it runs through this level. Again, do not assume that we are going into a huge bull run. I would be super surprised. Okay, anything could happen, but I would be super surprised. I think that resistance is going to come and weigh in on the price. And resistance, we have solid resistance in my opinion at around 1323 around here. I don't think it's going to make it there. No, I think it's probably going to find resistance at 1308 already enough, difficult enough to handle, and it's going to be pushed down. So that is my current reading concerning gold.